Hey everyone, Nubkeks here. As you all know, on my channel, I pride myself for, my hard-hitting journalism, really cutting through to the tough moral and political questions of our age. So of course, with BlizzCon just out, in today's video, we're going to rank the Covenant mounts and the Covenant armor sets in terms of best to worst. So we'll go through, give them each a ranking. If you didn't hear, yes, there are armor sets and a flying mount for each of the different Covenants, which you will unlock through the new Covenant campaigns in patch 9.1. Before we dive into today's video though, I want to take a minute to talk to you about the sponsor this month for the channel, which is Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of different classes you can take or workshops you can do with other members. And there's tons of different things here on Skillshare, from art to business to whatever you're interested in. This month of February, we had Valentine's Day and the most important holiday of the year here in Ireland, Pancake Tuesday. So I am in a real cooking sort of mood this month. So for me, I'm actually checking out the Hone Your Culinary Craft playlist here. This is a special set of lessons curated by Skillshare, 10 different classes to, show you what to do in the kitchen, from how to chop things properly with a knife to how to brew an amazing cup of coffee. And remember, Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, which means that there's no ads, and they're constantly launching new premium classes. It's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. And the great news I can give you is that if you're interested, the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will actually get a free trial of that premium membership to check out the site, explore your creativity, meet the other members, and just have an awesome time. Again, link in the description down below. All right, let's take a look then at the armor sets. First up, we have the Kyrian cosmetic armor. Of course, all of these Covenant armor sets work for every single armor type, so you can transmog into any of these sets, whether you're a cloth-wearing mage, a plate-wearing paladin, what have you. Certainly, I think when you look at this armor set, the first thing that jumps to my mind instantly is I hope you Horde players like this set, because let's be honest, about half of the characters you are going to be seeing in-game, in the cities, in Orgrimmar, are going to be female Blood Elf Paladins running around in this. Alright, well, let's zoom in. Let's take a closer look. We'll look at this guy on the right-hand side and see what is actually happening with this armor set. So we can see that for the headpiece, there's actually these wings that you can get, which I think is actually quite nice. And then one of my favorite things actually are these shoulders, which you can see here and here. The cool thing about these shoulders, maybe it's even more visible. Yeah, it's even more visible on the darker armor set. By the way, love the color variation. But these shoulders are actually just this ribbon, or kind of a band that goes around your shoulders, which I think is actually kind of awesome. As far as I know, we don't have any shoulder like this in the game. I like that it's a different direction to take it, for sure. It also does seem to link in with the cloak transmog, which is cool with those big old clasps. And there's a bit of a 3D model to the cloak as well. It looks like it links up, and again, you have to have that visual effect of your cloak comes in and then continues as this ribbon around your arms, which I think is actually kind of awesome. We have these wings. Hard to see on this one up here, but you can see here we've got these wings on the glove, which is cool. The belt actually is very visible over here on this one. We've got rings, we've got dangly bits in front of your dangly bits. And I never knew that the human foot model was actually quite good in game, but apparently it is. Who knew? And you've got nice straps. Very Greek, very Athenian sort of feel to this armor set, which is very appropriate for the Kyrian, who do draw on that. I will say, my thoughts overall on this armor set, I think it's actually pretty good. It's obviously simple. It's minimalistic. I like that you've got the robe version. I also like the hot pants. I like the Greek warrior hot pants version. I have to say, I think that this is going to look good on some races, but not on others. Like if you are a Draenei or an orc, I think this armor set's gonna look badass on like a Mag'har orc. It's gonna look super cool. I think though, if you're a Mechanome, or a Volpera, not gonna be quite so good. I'd give this armor overall actually a B+. I actually quite like these simplistic armor sets, and I think there's some really awesome actually new things happening here that I'm a big fan of, especially with those shoulders. I think they're really different, and I like them a lot. Next up, we have the Night Fae cosmetic armor set. Someone points out this looks a little bit like Batman. Looks a bit like a superhero with the mask on this thing. But yeah, this is very Night Fae. It's very Night Fae. If we zoom in for a closer look, we'll look at this fella over here. We've got the antlers that form a mask with a bit of a hood sort of piece as well. That's the head, which I think is actually quite cool. it sort of straddles that superhero line, doesn't it? Where it kind of looks cool, but then it also kind of looks stupid. It sort of depends on what mood you're in when you look at it. I think on the whole, though, it's pretty nifty. It could be really, really awesome on like a Tauren or something, for example. I think that'd be badass. The shoulders, again, I think are very simple. I love the sort of color gradient that we also see in the antlers, kind of moving from the natural horn or natural wood into that glowing, anima-fueled, Night Fae vibe. It's really cool. I really like this neck piece. Looks great as well. And just the little leaves in the shoulders, I think they look fantastic. I think that this is an open. You got a belly slot here, right? I'm sure that you don't need armor covering your stuff. There's nothing important in there, right? So that's cool. Arms are uncovered, but that's fine. You got a few branches to protect. I don't know if we can see quite well. No, it's kind of hard to see. There is some sort of wood. Again, another woody piece attached to the gloves, which is cool. Little pouches on the belt as well. Very simple belt. Very simple belt. Simple pants. And then for the boots, it looks like it's just some sort of anklet, right? A little branch anklet. So on the whole, I think this one is only okay. I think it's only okay. Again, it is a simplistic armor set. In my opinion, it's relatively simple, but really good quality. There's a lot of details to this. It looks like really good resolution armor. Looks awesome. I think it's going to look great, again, on certain races, but not so good on others. It's going to look great on night elves. It's not going to look so good on like goblins, I don't think, but I don't know. Maybe it actually would. Maybe it would work. I do think the fun thing about this, it's very similar to your typical, leather druid sets, right? It's nothing special for them. I think the fun thing about this is that you can have, your plate wearer. You could be a death knight in this set if you wanted to. You could be a mage in this set, and I think that is actually pretty awesome. I'd be interested to see how these anklets look on different races as well, like how they look on trolls, for example. Will it work? Will it not? I'm not sure. But maybe it will. Maybe it'd be awesome. I'd give this set, I'd give it a B-. It's really not the most exciting thing in the world. But it does look like it looks good quality. It looks relatively simple. And I think you could definitely take parts of this. Like you could take the belt with the pouches. You could take maybe the pants. You could do something with the anklets, and you could use those for different transmogs. So yeah, I actually like it. It's simple. It's not blowing my mind, but it is good quality. Next up, we have the Necrolord Armor Set with a real necromancer theme to it. I have to be honest, there's a few things about this one that instantly jumped out to me. I mean, my first reaction when I saw this was I'm just imagining, little Necrolord. He's about to go out in the big bad world, and his mom comes out and she's like, "Honey, here, take this belt with these two giant daggers, and you wear that there. This is your safety belt, okay? The wastes of Maldraxxus, they're full of all these wanton women. They're gonna try get you. This belt is gonna keep you safe. This is gonna protect my boy and his innocence," right? I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a fan of this belt. It doesn't make much sense to me. Like, I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking, okay, if I'm gonna store two very sharp objects, two daggers, and I'm gonna store them in kind of like a scissor position, pretty much the last place I want to put that is over the crown jewels, so not a big fan of that one. I think it looks kind of weird. I also have to say, one thing that's a little bit odd is that the colors match on some of the sets. Like, for example, here we've got this bone on the shoulders, but it doesn't match over here. Over here is even more visible, where the bone over here matches the head, it matches the arms, but then we've got the gold belt, which sort of draws even more attention to the giant protector, as it were. It sort of matches on this one a little bit better. That blends in more. This set actually probably looks the best, but yeah, it just sort of stands out a bit too much. So I'm not entirely sure. And I have to say, apart from that, I think the helmet is kind of cool. You could use it for sort of it has a bit of a Drust feel to it, a bit of a Drust vibe. Could be cool for druids. Obviously, it's going to be good for could be cool for hunters. For warlocks, of course, is going to be awesome. I'm not sure if I would use much of this set or too much of this set on a plate wearer as much. A little bit wonky. I don't know. I just feel like the robe isn't too exciting to me. It's okay, and the gloves have little bones. They're okay. The shoulders as well, I feel, are a little bit too bold, a bit too big. They sort of stand out a bit too much. So I'm not sure about that, to be honest. One thing I do like is this cape appears to be, you know, sort of, again, that necromantic back cowl. I don't even know what you would call it. Very Kel'Thuzad vibe. So I do like that. But yeah, on the whole, I don't know. I'm not sold on this set. This one, it just doesn't speak to me much at all, I have to say. I think it's a cool set for like an NPC. I think it would be, you know, you could even have a boss dressed up on this, you know, sort of Naxxramas updated. But I'm not sure if I would ever actually use this. I think the Horde battle for what's it, Darkshore? I think those sets kind of do the undead necromancer thing a little bit cooler in my opinion. So yeah, this one I'd give it a C, to be honest with you. Not sold. I'm not sold. And then finally for the armor sets, we have the Venthyr set, or should I say sets, because there's several parts to this. So this one is kind of weird. I'm not exactly sure how you're going to unlock it. Do you unlock them all at once? Do you have to unlock them bit by bit? Can you mix and match? It looks like maybe you can, but I'm really not sure. Starting over here on the left, again, there's a few nice bits. I do like that you get this sort of diadem circlet thing. In fact, there's a few different versions. We've got a thin version. This one over here looks to be a thicker version with a thicker gem in there. Yeah, you can see it up here in the gold. So I think that's interesting. The shoulders are nothing special there. I do like that. This dress is pretty cool, I have to say. We've got this neck piece, a chunky 3D neck piece that appears to be part of it. We've got a nice chunky 3D armored bra. That's lovely. This looks kind of like the Void Elf belt, actually, doesn't it? I feel like that's the Void Elf heritage armor belt. I could be wrong. Looks very much like that, though. And I like the little fur bits at the end as well. It's a pretty good robe. I think this is a lot better than the Necrolord robe. Yeah, I feel like it's a lot better than that. It's got interesting parts to it. We have another option over here, which has the vampire pop tie collar going, which I think is also pretty cool. Definitely more of an armored feel, a lot more practical on this armor set, I would say. Kind of like padded armor over there. It looks like it might make sense. And then it does have a nice variety with these boots. I'm not sure how these boots are fitting underneath these robes, but apparently they are. But yeah, I like you got these nice chunky boots. Great to have those chunky boots, armored boots for cloth wearers. Great on plate, great for really any armor set. You could probably find ways to mix them in, and hopefully these will like appear on like Draenei hooves and troll feet and things like that. Some of those extra 3D parts might show up. I know they used to do that with some of the Draenei things. So yeah, there is some good stuff about this for sure. I mean, these bracers look a bit, I don't know what those bracers are. They're a bit blah. They look kind of bad, actually, to be honest. It looks like a bit of a mush. The gloves are not too special, like I said. I don't think the shoulders are too special. The belts are fine. You've got the chunky belt, you've got the bat-shaped belt. They're fine. For me, the selling point is definitely, I like the collar. You can make some cool transmogs with that. I like the thin headpiece. The big chunky one looks pretty stupid. On a human, it looks way too heavy. And I really like this set. I think it looks really cool. And yeah, I mean, you just know there's going to be a billion slut mogs based around this robe, but I think it's cool. It's great to have, you know, a robe that instead of just being a different tube, this one actually has stuff going on. It's got a cool neck piece. So yeah, I would give this one probably an A-, actually. I think there's some cool stuff in here. It really depends on how much you're able to mix and match. When I look at this, I see lots of cool different individual armor pieces to slot together. Not sure that I would use the entire sets though ever. But yeah, I think there's enough really fun pieces in there to make transmogs out of. I'm giving it an A-. I'm being generous. A-. So that's how I'm rating the armor sets. For me, Venthyr is in first place, Kyrian coming in second place, and then I would say languishing a fair bit behind, we've got Night Fae in third place and Necrolord in last place. Looking at the mounts then, boy oh boy, are we starting with a cool one. I love this. This is the Kyrian Covenant Mount. This reminds me very much of the Priest class mount, but it's sort of like an updated, sort of mechanical, magical version of this sort of like owl lion thing? Griffin? Owl griffin? I don't know. But to me, this is just super badass. One thing that I instantly love about this, I love the different color schemes. I feel like it gives each of them a very different vibe, right? The white one is very appropriate for a very good character, very holy character, great for a priest or a paladin. But then this dark one, is pretty badass. It's got a very Batman vibe to it again. It's cool. You could run this on like a warrior or a death knight, no problem. And it's gonna look pretty freaking awesome while still having that Kyrian vibe. So I think the colors work really well. And again, I think that it just captures it captures a sense of being sort of majestic and beautiful while also being kind of intimidating. Yeah, for me, this just does everything right. This is like an A+ mount. This is just super cool. I want to see what it looks like on the ground as well. Do the wings disappear? Do they fold up? I want to see what the animations are. That's going to make a big difference, but it looks like we're going to have some cool glowy bits on the wings. The eyes definitely have some cool glowing things going on. Yeah, this mount to me is just super badass, super cool. Big fan. A+ for sure for me. Next up then, we have the Night Fae Mount, which really reminds me of the Neverending Story. It also reminds me of the dragons from Spirited Away, wasn't it? I think it was Spirited Away. But yeah, this is the Fox Dragon. It's interesting. I mean, those claws are kind of terrifying. This is a weird one, and I kind of like the weirdness. Is it cute? Is it majestic? Is it just kind of disturbing and terrifying? I'm not really sure. Very appropriate for the Night Fae, to be honest. Very appropriate. But there's a lot of cool stuff going on here, I think, with this mount. Again, I do think the feet look a bit weird, but the rest of it looks really good texture work. I think the saddle looks great. I love the little glowing thing on the saddle. I think that looks fantastic. That looks really cool. I do suspect these will use the, much like I think the Priest Order Hall mount animations will be used for the Kyrian Mount. I think this one's obviously going to use the Cloud Serpent thing, which we have had recently as well with, you know, the N'Zoth Serpents. So it's going to be an animation set that we're pretty familiar with. But yeah, I think this one is pretty cool. I would give this probably a B. I'd probably give it a B. I think it's unique. I think it will stand out. You'll kind of notice it. I think it's a little bit weird. The fox thing's a bit weird. I'm sure some people will absolutely love this. I'm sure, though, there's going to be a lot of people that will go, oh, that thing is kind of freaky. I'm not sure about that. And they're not going to use it. So, yeah, I think this is a divisive one. I give it a B. I think there's a lot to like. And I also think there's some stuff to dislike. So there you go. Next up, then, we have the Necrolord Mount. And I will be honest, my initial impressions of this were pretty positive. I thought, hey, this is, you know, it's quite different. It's quite cool. The more I look at it, though, the less I have to be honest that I like this one. Yeah, the less I like this one. I mean, it's not a bad mount. I would probably give this probably like a C+, I think. You know, the wings look great. It looks like they're going to be fairly transparent, which is cool. The eyes are very terrifying with their shine and all the detail in there. It's creepy, don't get me wrong. This is very creepy. I love the arms, the little bones. You've got the little poison bits on the jaw. There's a lot of cool details in here. The real question for me is, would I actually want to use this thing? I don't know. It's a little disturbing. It's quite ugly. It's quite freaky. I'm not sure that I would ever really want to use it. I'm not sure that I'm going to see many people actually using it either. Is it actually going to be used that much? I'm not sure. So yeah, like I said, I think it's a C+ for me. I think they've done a great job in making this sort of beetle thing. If it has good animations, that could really sell the creep factor. So it sort of depends, you know. That's the reason I rank it low, is creep factor is not really something I'm usually looking for in my mount in World of Warcraft. If it is, then I think you'll love this one. If it's not, and I think most people are not looking for creepy mounts, they're looking for cool, majestic, beautiful mounts, badass mounts. I'm not sure this one's going to do it for you. So yeah, let me know what you think, though. Do you guys like this? Would you use this? I don't know. And then finally we have the Venthyr Mount. Oh boy, the Stoneborn base mount. We've pretty much saved the best for last. This one is just so freaking badass. I love this. Oh my god. The face is this really cool gargoyle sort of face. It looks cool. It looks intimidating. If you ran into this thing in a dark alley, you'd probably scream in terror. I love, even if you look at the arms, you can see they've that really rocky, you know, it looks sort of like raw, chiseled from rock. You can see that on the hand as well. Just the detail there. Very immersive. I think that looks really cool. And of course, how could we not mention, you know, the wings, the glow at the end of the wings, that red Venthyr glow, just super, super badass. This thing looks just awesome. It looks incredible. The saddle looks great as well. Fancy saddle. Again, I like how it's sort of strapped on. It looks like it's just strapped onto this big hunk of rock. I just think it's incredible. It looks awesome. And again, the colors look absolutely fantastic. the black version, sort of the brown rocky version, the white version. I think you've got really cool different vibes there. The red highlights, again, they set off, they work so well with the black one. It's definitely my favorite. I think they look great with the white one as well. I think brown is the weakest one, but it's still good. But yeah, I mean, like these two, they are just awesome. Like they are so good. So for me, this is an A+ mount, no question. This is just, yeah, this one is incredible. Hopefully the animations are good in game. And we don't really see the back of it. Like, does it have back legs? What happens? I don't know. Does it just end? Does it? I'm not sure what's back there. That could change my opinion, maybe. But from this this artwork here, this looks awesome. Yeah, this is one of my favorite mounts probably ever. Super cool. And there you go, guys. Again, for me then, ranking the mounts, Venthyr, the clear winner here, with Kyrian, a very, very strong runner-up. Night Fae then coming in, definitely a good chunk behind again as well. And then Necrolord also in last place. So for me, I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. I have pretty much the same rankings for armor sets as for the mounts. So perhaps this is some of my personal bias really shining through, my Covenant bias. In terms of which Covenant I find the most cool. I think that's very possible. So yeah, I'm curious to know what you think. Is it the case that the Venthyr are the clear winners here across the board, with Kyrian in second place and then Night Fae behind them, and Necrolord really coming up in last place, not looking too hot? Is that the case, or is it just me? I don't know, I'm feeling pretty strongly about it, but yeah, there you go. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you're hyped to unlock these mounts. I know I am. I'm excited. I'm excited for the armor as well. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.